Good evening and welcome to Dixon Field at Queens University Sports Complex for our coverage of the Charlotte Eagles versus the Cincinnati Dutch Lions in the Premier Development League. The Charlotte Eagles can wrap up a South Atlantic Division title tonight with a win or draw over the Dutch Lions, who still have a chance to win the division if they win out and the Eagles lose out. For the Eagles, 3 games included tonight. For the Dutch Lions, including 2. The starting lineups tonight. First for the Dutch Lions, in goal, Dane Wilson. In the back, Bradley Schluter, Jake Stovall, Gabe Welp, and Nick Merhoot. In midfield, Garrett Halfhill, Ignacio Besa, and Alejandro Garcia, and Colton Tanner, and at forward Kyle Smith and Oriel Cortez. And for the Charlotte Eagles, in goal James Pyle, in the back Lalas Abubakar, Cam Boites, Austin Yearwood, and Mason McCarter. In the midfield Kyle Culbertson, Jared Odenbeck, and Amos Amankona. And up top Zavante Wilson, Daniel Timbosh, and Nathan Regis. Getting ready to kick off now. Eagles are in blue and the Dutch Lions are in orange. Sometimes both of those teams were the other color. So on Thursday night, the Eagles defeated the Dutch Lions 3-1 here at Dixon Field, and the Eagles were in fact wearing orange. And there's the kickoff. The Eagles got goals from Wilfred Williams to start out, and then Nathan Regis. And then the Dutch Lions got a goal from a midfielder. That was, I believe that was, I think that was Brandon Murphy. And then the Eagles capitalized with a goal from Nathan Regis. So the Eagles are just going to swing it around here and get it to Kyle Culbertson. Zavante Wilson's getting his first start in a while. He came on Thursday as a sub, and he's had a good season. He picked up 2 assists against the Carolina Dynamo earlier this season. That's a good aerial ball from Jared Odenbeck over to, might have been Mason McCarter over on the end, and that's Nathan Regis. So Amankona tried to chip the defender and get it back to Regis, but it was cut out. And the rest is going to whistle Abubakar for that. Looked like he didn't get a lot of contact, but the ref said it was enough to warrant a foul, so it's going to be a free kick right around midfield. Give the Dutch Lions and the Eagles a little bit of time to get their spacing back. This is Alejandro Garcia down the wing. He's going to try to beat Austin Yearwood. Austin Yearwood keeps him in front of him, though. And now it's Kyle Smith on the ball. But the Eagles are able to knock it off of Smith, so it's going to be a goal kick, so says the ref. The Eagles and the Dutch Lions have both guaranteed themselves a playoff berth. And the first round of that will be a play-in game against the other team in this division. So both of these teams are gonna meet in that play-in game, which I believe will happen on July 21st. And they're mostly just playing to see who's going to host that, which is obviously important because home field advantage is a big thing in the VDL, especially with travel and everything else that goes into it. So again, if the Eagles win or tie, that game will be hosted here at Dixon Field. Looks like both teams are coming out in a 4-3-3 today. And Kyle Smith for the Dutch Lions is definitely playing in a more advanced role than he was able to on Thursday night. He kind of had to play a holding midfield position, but he's definitely a dangerous player for them. Smith is. He's scored 8 goals and 5 assists, which he leads the team in both of those categories. He's tied in assists with Alejandro Garcia, but definitely I think the Dutch Lions will be happy to have him in more of an advanced position. As Boytes just heads it over to Abubakar, who knocks it back to James Pyle to just recycle things. Big kick from James Pyle. See if Regis can win it. And Amankona comes down with it. Kyle Culbertson's wearing the captain's armband tonight for the Eagles. He's been very solid in their last couple outings since coming back from injury. And that's going to go off of Cortez. So that'll be Charlotte Eagles throwing. For the Eagles, Amas Amankona is going to play that attacking midfield role, which suits him well. He's a creative player, and he's got some speed and knows what to do with the ball in the final third. So I think the Eagles are glad that they don't have to use him as a holding midfielder, and they're going to keep Culbertson and Odenbeck back there to give him some cover so he has a little bit more freedom to get forward and impact the game in that way. Good dribble here. The Dutch Lions are without Christian Alexander tonight, who got sent off with a red card towards the end of the second half of the game on Thursday night, which meant that the Dutch Lions had to play the rest of that game with 10 men, which didn't help because they were already down. So he's out tonight, and it looks like they replaced him with Garrett Halfhill. So we'll see how he does in his place. Good defense from Zavante Wilson there. This is a good run for the Dutch Lions. Let's see if they can get a head on it. And Mason McCarter was able to get a foot there, knock it out for another throw in. I think it's going to be Stovall taking the throw, and he's got a cannon of an arm. He's got a really long throw, so these are always dangerous. Oh, James Pyle wasn't able to get there. Oh, Lalas Abubakar was able to clear it in the nick of time. There were some bodies around that one that definitely wanted to punch that one into the goal. But once again, Abubakar is able to get the clearance. He's been so consistent in doing that all season. Kyle Culbertson turns. Tries to fight Jared Odenbeck, but had Smith in his way. And now it's Garcia, and they might have numbers here. Garcia tries to take a shot, but once again, Abubakar's there. Good slide tackle from the Dutch Lions. Yearwood heads it back to James Pyle, but almost didn't put enough on that, and definitely got some pursuit there from, I think that's Cortez once again. It looks like Cortez is actually playing the center striker. Last night on Thursday night, he plays a midfielder, kind of an attacking midfielder. But maybe without Alexander tonight, they had to shuffle things around, especially because I don't think they took a huge contingency from Cincinnati down here to Charlotte for this 2-game stretch. So they're kind of thin on numbers anyway. So having to rest guys and everything else, they definitely have a little bit of a different lineup tonight than they did Thursday. It's a good run there from Beza, finding Cortez on a 1-2. Nice switches, and the field switch was switched. Tries to find Beza again, but it's cut out by Odenbeck. Odenbeck tried to center it, but Smith was there. And this is Cortez. Cortez turns, and he's able to find, that's Schluter coming up from the back. And a good slide tackle from Austin Yearwood to knock it out. Schluter was trying to get around the corner and play in a dangerous cross. He would have had to draw another defender out, and that probably would have taken somebody off of their man. So a vital slide tackle there from Yearwood. It's going to be another big throw from Stovall into the box, and Abu Bakr's there again. He is definitely the foil to this strategy for Cincinnati. I'm sure they've scored a lot of goals this season off of that, but they haven't gone against a defender like Alas Abu Bakr, who always just seems to be where the ball is. So that's going to be Beza, I think. It's back to Stovall. I think Stovall's lining up at right back tonight. And this is Alejandro Garcia. He's cutting in. Let's see if Cortez can swing something in there. And he tried to play Colton Tanner, but wasn't really on. So I think the Dutch Lions are playing like a 4-2-3-1. Looks like they got those four in the back, and then I think Beza and Halfhill in the holding midfield positions, and then Smith is kind of that center attacking mid, flanked by Garcia and I think Beza is over there as well, or I think that's Beza. Yes, with Cortez up top. Oh, excuse me, that's not Beza, that's Tanner, Colton Tanner. So this is Garcia being defended by Wilson. High ball attempt. Didn't really have a runner onto that. Amankota played a high ball there, and that's going to put Poitras in a tricky position. But I think he was able to get it off one of the Dutch Lions defenders. So Odenbeck just back to McCarter. Wilson got some contact there from Bradley Schluter, so going to be a free kick. We might see something else. I wonder if he was just saying that it needed to be further back for the free kick. Yep, I think that's what it was. I think he's just going to move him back a little bit. Or I think maybe he hadn't blown his whistle for the free kick to be taken. So Culbertson's just going to play it short to Odenbeck. Boy, just finds Yearwood. Yearwood was dangerous on Thursday night, just getting down that left flank, providing a lot of width from outside back, and now he's running into the center. Let's see if he can get onto. No, he tried to play Daniel Timbosh there, but the ball was just a little bit too far in front of him. That would have been dangerous. Both of these outside backs for the Eagles, Austin Yearwood and Mason McCarter, do a really good job of getting up the flanks, and that's just tough for any team to play against because you got to drop those wing forwards back if you want to be able to counteract, if you want to be able to defend against that. Otherwise, you just got a numbers problem all night. So when you got two guys like Yearwood and McCarter who are able to get down the field and stretch and use the width, stretch the field, and get forward, but also come back and play good defense like they do, that's just like you have an extra man or two on the field.
Good play there from Wallace Abubakar. They're going to have a hard time getting it past him tonight. I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe try some through balls or something, because it seems like if they try to go wide, he's just going to get to every ball in the box. And I think that's a dilemma that a lot of teams have faced. Wow, they're not going to call a foul on that. He kind of got knocked down by Wilson, but no foul. So this is Smith. Abubakar shielding him. Trying to, good move to get it to the outside. Surprised Smith gave him that. It looks like he's hurt. I can't tell who that is. That might be Cortez. Yeah, that's Oriel Cortez. Just got that bump from Zavante Wilson and kind of looked like a foul, but I think the ref figured it was just kind of some hip-to-hip contact and might have been going both ways, so no foul call. High ball from Boitez, trying to find Wilson. Wilson's not usually an aerial threat because he's pretty small, but he's got a lot of speed, so I think he was just trying to run past all those guys, and the ball just wasn't quite there. But good thought from the Eagles, and I think they're just trying to stretch the Dutch Lions defense. They'll do this sometimes early in games with the Eagles. They'll just kind of play those high balls and see if they can just move the other team's back line back, so they'll have more space in the midfield to pass it around, and if they see him creeping up like that, try another one. Just keeping him honest. So Garcia finds Cortez. Abubakar able to track that one down, keep it in bounds, and finds Wilson. Let's see if Wilson can find Tim Bosch over there on the right. Oh, he gets sandwiched by Beza, and I think that was Schlut. Nope. That was Halfhill. The two holding mids just got. You can kind of sandwich guys, but you can't get them by the feet, and that's what I think what they did. They both kind of got hacked at the legs a little bit, so pretty easy foul call for the ref there. So now this is Austin Yearwood just going to chip one over to Odenbeck, and Odenbeck's got space in front of him. Let's see if he can pick somebody out, and he's trying to get it to Regis, but good job using the body by Jake Stovall, and Regis wasn't able to get onto that, and it goes safely to Dane Wilson. Will Wachowski started the last game for the Dutch Lions, so I guess just trying to give both guys a chance to show what they can do going into the playoffs, going into their last regular season game. So Cortez, nope, that might be Smith, and Smith takes a shot, and that's 1-0. Cincinnati Dutch Lions, a great shot there. I think that was Kyle Smith. Yes, it was. Kyle Smith. That's his 9th goal on the season, and just took it away from, that might have been Mason McCarter, Cam Boitez, and just was able to take the space in front of him and just placed that ball beautifully into the bottom right corner. And so this is going to be one of the first deficits that the Eagles have faced all season. I know they were down 2-0 against the Southern West Virginia Kings Warriors in the first half, and were able to come back over the course of that game and knot it at 2-2. But they're not accustomed to being down. They haven't lost a game all season. They're, I think, 8-0-3. So they're going to want to get another goal back quickly, but the Eagles have had a lot of the possession tonight, and I think the Dutch Lions have just been trying to do kind of stuff like that, poaching and counterattacking, and just seeing if they can get a goal. And they did, so that might change the game a little bit. Now the Eagles are going to be chasing them because they need to. They're going to feel like they want to get that goal soon, and I think for them the best thing to do is just not break from what they've been doing, because they've had a couple, close chances, not really shots on goal necessarily, but plays where a better place pass or something like that might have put somebody in. So this could change the game a lot, and I know Cincinnati will be very happy to be up 1-0, especially because they need to win this game if they want to have any chance at winning the South Atlantic, which the Eagles have all but wrapped up. Good play there from, can't tell if that was Cortez. No, it wasn't. It's Beza. Good header there from Abubakar back to Pyle. And now it's Austin Yearwood. He's got a little bit of space in front of him, but Garcia closing down, and so he finds Culbertson. Jared Odenbeck does a really good job of covering for those two outside backs when they go forward. They kind of switch to 3 in the back with the 2 center backs, Boitez and Abubakar and Odenbeck. So those 2 outside backs just get way forward. They look like outside mids or wings out there. Like you see Mason McCarter's just lining up for a pass over on the right, and he looks like he's trying to stay on sides, which you don't see a lot from an outside back. But when you can do that, when you got a holding midfielder in there like Odenbeck who can just step into any position on the field and take care of business, that frees you up a lot. You can tell the Eagles practice their shape a lot in training, and it's paying off. This is Tim Bosch on the ball, just gets it back to Boitez. Tim Bosch wants it again. See if he can pick somebody out deep. Oh, good thought there. Good dummy by Wilson, and Regis, I don't think, quite knew that they were going to try to run that and wasn't quite able to catch up with it, but almost slipped him in creatively. Predictably, Abubakar just nods one back to Pyle. That goal was just the 5th Abubakar, or the 5th goal that Pyle has let in all season. He coming into the night, he had as many shutouts as he did goals allowed, which is very impressive. So we'll see how he responds. He's probably not used to giving up those early goals like that, but that one wasn't his fault at all. I mean, he couldn't have done anything about that. It was just a great shot into the bottom right corner. Sometimes getting up an early goal like that will kind of make a keeper feel more relaxed, coming into a game a little bit tense and then just giving up a goal. And this is Tim Bosch. Oh, he tries to play in Regis, but the offside flag's up anyway. But they're not going to call it. They just going to hold it for a punt. That's a low one. I don't think it came off, or maybe he was trying to get it there to Tanner. This is Schluter. And this is Merhut. And now Garcia cutting into the center. Gets it to Tanner. Colton Tanner with a shot, and it's a pretty easy save for Pyle. Held it pretty comfortably. Now Austin Yearwood. Good defense from the Eagles there. Just some good passing from the Dutch Hines, but they just kept him in front of them and forced a long shot. They weren't letting any runs get behind them or anything like that, and they did a good job of applying just enough pressure to force the shot. So I think McCarter was trying to find Amancona or Regis there, but nobody making the run, so pretty comfortably to Wilson. Oh, and Regis is trying to track that one down, and now he's going to fall to Culbertson, and the Eagles might have numbers here. That was a handball, but they're going to call it a foul on Culbertson instead. He did get some body in there, but that was bound to be a whistle one way or the other. So they find Mahut over on the left side. And Hurt finds Smith. Good move from Smith. Last night, Kyle Smith did not get the ball, I think, as much as he wanted to. And tonight he has in that attacking midfield position. And he showed what he can do. He showed how he scored those, how he's made himself one of the premier players in this PDL. And that finish was class. And he's been doing creative things all night. He's third in the PDL in points and that was actually before he even got that goal earlier, so that probably will put him in first or second. And this is Smith again. Smith's going to dribble up Boitos on Abu Bakr, but Abu Bakr's there. Brick wall. Keep that from even getting to the box. And this is going to be Mahut getting on the left side. Good high ball from Welp. Garcia was trying to take a shot, and this is going to be Cortez, but it goes wide right. Oh, they're going to okay. Austin Yearwood diving and got a deflection on that, and that's what kept it that far wide. I was wondering how he missed it by that bad, but he did not. That was Austin Yearwood all the way, so it's going to be a corner kick. So Alejandro Garcia here. Gonna try to drive one in and get ahead on it to make it 2-0. But Austin Yearwood once again gets there. Forces the throw in. Seems I think he'd much rather have a corner kick than a throw in, but with Jake Stovall taking this throw ins, they're about equally dangerous. They just kind of come in from a different angle. But he'll actually take it short here. Now Garcia's in the box. Plays one up, but I think that Nathan Regis got ahead to it. Knocked it away. No, this is McCarter. No, that was Tim Bosch, actually. Stovall was all over Regis' back there. I'm surprised they didn't call it. Regis can't get free from Beza there. Her feet were tied up. So I think we have a man down. I think that would be Ignacio Beza. We'll see if the Dutch Lions have to use one of their coveted subs for, I think in most games, especially if they were at home, that wouldn't be a big deal because you have 6 in the PDL, but they've only got 3 subs and one of them's a keeper. So they probably don't want to have to use any subs in the first half because you're going to have guys getting tired later on. Good individual play from Cortez. Getting free. Oh, and he tried to play a high ball for Kyle Smith, trying to get a second, but Abu Bakr was there. This is Schluter. Finds Cortez, who gets it out to Garcia. Oh, excuse me, back to Smith. I think that's Beza again. Garcia into Beza. Yep, Beza. Garcia now on the ball. Back to Beza. Tries to play in Cortez. And it's going to go back to Kyle Smith. Kyle Smith, let's see if he can get onto his left foot. Nope. To Garcia. Alman and Culbertson closing in on him and forcing him to play it back. And now this is Schluter. Schluter to Garcia. Garcia. Cortez. He's going to swing one in. Good effort there from Garrett Halfhill. Had some dip on it, but went wide right. Amankona tried to get all the way up there and win that one. Falls to Tim Bosch. Let's see if the foul's called. It is. It's a good call. Looks like Welp is wearing number 9 tonight. He's listed as number 13, but I wonder if that was a misprint on the guide or if he's wearing somebody else's jersey. It looks like Jared Odemek's going to take this as Dane Wilson, the keeper, sets up his wall. He plays one, and it dips pretty nicely, but I think that might have been, yeah, it was Merhut who got to that. And now we're going to have a corner kick for the Eagles. I would imagine that Amankona would probably take this one. Alright, no, it's going to be Cal Culbertson. Yeah, Culbertson's the left footer on the team, so let's see if he can swing one in from out there and get ahead on it. They'll have Abubakar and Boitez coming up from the back. Those are the two guys in the air, as well as Nathan Regis, who scored on a corner last game from Culbertson. Let's see if, I'm sure that the Dutch Lions will be marking him tightly. Looks like they've got Welp on him. Plays a low one in there. Handled pretty easily by, I think that was Merhut, or maybe it was Cortez. Either way, it's Amankona with the ball now. Team plays one out to Wilson, and that's a pretty easy foul call there. There could be a card. No card. Just thought it might have been because the ref was running over there. So this is definitely a dangerous place to have a corner kick from. He can, if he can get it over the wall, he can swing one in pretty easily to one of those guys, or he might even just lay one back for somebody like Amankona to take a shot at. Culbertson's kick flicked by Tim Bosch, but cleared into the air, and Abubakar goes up and gets to it. Good ball straight to Dane Wilson. Man, Abubakar just gets up there really high. Made that one his pretty easily and definitively, and had a good effort, good shot at the goal. Just the keeper was there. He had a tough angle to shoot it at anyway, but good effort from there. Test the keeper. Intercepted by Tim Bosch. Gets it back to Regis. Regis is going to try to hold it up, find a teammate, but Merhut is there. Ball by Beza falls straight to Abubakar. Culbertson plays it back to Amankona via Garcia. And now Nathan Regis is going to chase down, I think that's Welp, maybe Stovall. That was Welp. Now Nick Stovall on the ball. Now Garcia. Puts it Cortez. The Giants are having a hard time getting numbers up there. They keep their outside backs a lot further back than the Eagles do, and I think the problem with that is that you can't get them. You just can't get those numbers advantages that way. Savante Wilson intercepts that one pretty easily. Kind of fell right to him. Plays it back 1-2, and now it's back to Wilson. Tried to get it around Schluter there. Regis thought Wilson was running onto that one, but he wasn't, so Schluter's going to take the throw in. And Colton Tanner gives that one away, and Boitez tries to find Tim Bosch, but I think that was Merhut who got to it. Over to Gabe Welp. And Zavante Wilson gets there. Forces a clearance by Stovall, but it falls straight to Cortez. There's a whistle. They're going to say caught Cortez's hand. Good turnout here at the Queens University Sports Complex. Good crowd on a Saturday night to take in a nice soccer game. Good weather, too. Couldn't ask for much better. Now this is Cortez. Let's see if they can get numbers up here. They've had a hard time doing that. They tried to play Smith in there past Boitez, but Boitez was there. And now it's Zavante Wilson. He's got Yearwood overlapping him, and Regis to his right. He's going to play Yearwood. Yearwood on the left. Let's see if the Eagles can get numbers in. Goes to Regis. But that was Stovall just getting a foot there to get it away. And Zavante Wilson almost had a shot at goal. That would have been a dangerous place to shoot from. For the Dutch Lions, not for the Eagles. Schleusser on the ball. Finds Cortez. I think this is Half Hill. Half Hill plays it with his back heel. And this is Smith. Smith gets a tough tackle from Wilson, and that's just a good clean slide tackle. And now Tim Bosch is on the ball. He's got Amankona to his right. Tried to play Nathan Regis in there, but passes once again too far. We're now in the 36th minute, 10 minutes left in the half, and I know the Eagles were going to want to get a goal here before the strike of halftime. Now Culbertson plays Wilson, and back to Culbertson. Got some contact there from from Half-Hill, but Half-Hill on the ball again. And now it's Beza. That was a good ball from Merhut. But Odenbeck is able to get to it. Gets it to Amankona. Amankona's trying to play Regis, but once again, that ball's too far. They're playing this high offside. They're playing this high line on the Dutch Lions when they can, and I think that's been a good feature of their defense, and it's made it hard for the Eagles to have any space to play those through balls into. When they try to, they've been too far most of the time because of that. But Tim Bosch gets an interception there, and they've got a 4 against 5 now. Tim Bosch is going to try to get some space. Oh, good job. And they're going to call that one right outside the box. Good move by Tim Bosch to get past him and got a shoulder. I think that might have been Half-Hill that fouled him, maybe Welp. But caught onto one of their shoulders and went to ground naturally, I think. And the ref's going to rule that was right outside the box. I think he's right. So it'll be either Amankona shooting it with his right foot or Culbertson with his left, or they could play one into Regis or one of the other guys that they have up there. But I think from that distance, Amankona or Culbertson's really going to want to have a rip at it. Amankona with a shot headed by somebody in the wall that might have been Welp. Yeah, no, it was Cortez. Cortez got a head to it. But now this is Tim Bosch again on the ball. Tim Bosch tries to chip one up to Abubakar. The Eagles retain it. Culbertson's going to try to play something high. Doesn't quite able. And now the Dutch Lions might have numbers. Well, they have a 2-on-3 anyway. Let's see what they can do with it. They got a third guy, Garcia, coming up. But the Eagles are retreating with Odenbeck and McCarter. This is Cortez. Or nope, excuse me. That was Colton Tanner. Shot goes high and a little bit to the right. Boitez now. Odenbeck somehow turns and is able to find Tim Bosch. See if Tim Bosch can get it into an attacking position. Finds Wilson. Kind of got fouled. Yeah, he did get fouled. Somebody got his foot from behind. That would have been tough if he hadn't gotten that call. It came in kind of late, but definitely the Eagles would be happy to have it there, especially because that's a dangerous place to take a direct kick from too. Where they were earlier was a good place, but the wall was, from that distance, the walls, you have so little space behind the wall, you almost inevitably either knock it over, hit it over the top or into the wall, and that's what ended up happening. They just caught the top of the wall, but this is gonna be Amankona taking it from there, plays it low and it caught the foot of I think that was Halfhill or maybe Welt, or not sure who that was, but Austin Yearwood tried to play one in high there, but that one went pretty easily to Dane Wilson in the net. Not in the net. Wilson's punt, high and long. Abubakar gets ahead to it. Went off of Kyle Smith. Mason McCarter knocks it back to Boitez. Boitez just going to get it back to Pyle to clear it away. Amankona does a good job of shielding some guys, and so does Nathan Regis. And now they got a 3-on-3. Amankona tries to play Regis in. Almost got there, did Nathan Regis. But Dane Wilson came off of his line nicely and got that one right before Regis could get a foot to it. Another good punt from Wilson. He's got a boot. Pass didn't come off quite like Beza wanted it to there. Good job by Regis to get a foot on that, and it's going to go to Zavante Wilson. Now Boitez on the ball. Snooter plays it around Yearwood to Garcia. Oh, barely knocked away by Boitez. Abubakar kind of knocked it down right into the center, and maybe he was hitting it too, Boitez, but kind of dangerous anyway. But Boitez was there and just knocks it out for a throw-in. And I would imagine that Stovall might go up and take this throw. No, looks like he's staying back there. Yeah, I think they're gonna let they might let Colton Tanner take the throw. Falls to Cortez, and Boitez knocks it out for a corner. So it's gonna be Colton Tanner. He's gonna knock in a corner. Amankona rushing out to just kind of get in his way, or really just redirect the kick. Goes up high. Yearwood did a good job of fighting through some guys to get a header there. And now it's Tim Bosch. He got some contact from Merhut. So it's going to be a foul and a free kick right from that yellow cross line. I guess I'll play it from behind there. 43rd minute here at Charlotte. Still 1-0 in favor of the Dutch Lions. Zavante Wilson turns, finds Amankona back to Culbertson, and off to Yearwood out wide. Let's see if he can get one of the guys from the midfield checking in. And that one just falls off of Amankona's foot, so it's a throw-in. This is Wilson on the ball now. Let's see if Wilson can find somebody. He does. He finds Tim Bosch, who's out on the right side of the box. Oh, took a shot and it bounced, and that's Regis for the follow goal. Nathan Regis' hard work pays off as he just follows up the shot by Daniel Timbosh, which Dane Wilson kind of mishandled and bounced off his gloves, and Nathan Regis picking up the leftovers, and it's a goal. It's going to be a 1-1 lead after the 45th minute, and that's a huge sigh of relief for the Eagles, who are still tied, but will not have to take a deficit in the halftime. And we have a player down on the field now. That might be Gabe Merhoot. I think it is Gabe Merhoot. That's for Cincinnati. They've played a good first half, and these last couple of minutes, they've really, I think, the Eagles since scoring that goal, and just kind of an unlucky one there for them. I think Dane Wilson will wish he had that one back, and he did a good job to make the initial save, but he would have liked to have held that. Big goal from Regis. He's on a tear to this. Got 10 goals now, and he was already tied for second in the PDO on goals. So I would imagine that puts him at least in second place outright, if not tied for first. He's not done. That's just after one half, and yesterday he had one going into halftime and got a second one 8 minutes after the intermission. So even when you think you've got him kind of maintained, as the Dutch Lions have done a good job of doing all night, just comes through on a rebound like that and makes you pay. He's a persistent player and he's clinical, in addition to extremely elite athleticism. Good win there by Abu Bakr, speaking of athleticism. Now Zavante Wilson able to find Amankona, who didn't quite get it, but they're going to call a foul on Cortez, who just kind of nicked Wilson and brought him to ground. Now Kyle Culbertson's going to hit one with his left foot. I think Cincinnati's just going to want to hold 18 here as Abu Bakr and Boitez come forward. Good high curling ball. Dane Wilson does a good job of getting up to that, and his hands weren't in question there. Did a good job of holding that one, and that's going to be the half here from Charlotte. It's a 1-1 draw going into halftime. Kyle Wilson put the Dutch Lions on the board early, but Nathan Regis in the 45th minute it off of a Daniel Timbosh shot. So Daniel Timbosh got the assist for that one. And so we're going to go into halftime 1-1. And we're back for the second half of the Charlotte Eagles versus Cincinnati Dutch Lions here from Charlotte at Dixon Field at Queens University Sports Complex. We got a 1-1 score line after a late equalizer from Nathan Regis tied it up following a excellent finish from Kyle Smith, which initially put the Dutch Lions up 1-0. We're all tied here, though, as if and clinch the South Atlantic Division with a win or a tie. I think they would love to have a win though, and just get some good form going into the playoffs, as well as maybe even potentially helping out their seeding going into the playoffs. They will play a play-in game against Cincinnati because those are the top two teams in the division. Both teams have clinched. But whoever wins the division will get to host that game, and both teams would love to have that home field advantage. Dutch Lions were a man down coming into the second half in their last meeting on Thursday night, so definitely happy to have all 11 players and have a tie game as well. So this is probably the best chance they're going to get to nick the Eagles, as the Eagles have beaten them by 2 goals in both games they've played. 2-0 towards the beginning of the season and then 3-1 on Thursday night. But they've looked good, especially since scoring that goal in about the 25th minute or so. About to get underway here from Charlotte. And the second half is going. Schluter gets deflected by Wilson, so that's going to be a throw. To Beza and then to... Now Regis trying to get on the ball, and he does. He gets the ball. And let's see. Yep, the ref's going to call it a foul. And it looks like Stovall got banged up on that one as well. Or that wasn't Stovall, that was Gabe Welp. But it was a foul. I think he, kind of moved between Regis and the ball. Didn't really have right to that place on the field, so I think Welp's going to come off now. They both kind of got banged up on it. It was a tough collision. It was Welp's fault, but it was Welp that committed the foul, but I think he got the worst of it. And so Odenbeck's going to take this one, which I think would suggest that he's not going to try to shoot it. It'll be a long, long shot. I think he's just going to try to knock one in and try to get a head on it. Wallace Abubaker, Nathan Regis are all three extremely good aerial threats. And they got a couple other guys like Tim Bosch and Colbert Sr. who would like to get a head on it and get a goal here. So let's see if the Dutch Lions can hold off this early attack from the Eagles. And Boytes got a head on it, but it goes wide left. Oh, they call an offsides anyway. It's a good ball there from Odenbeck, but ref said he was beyond the last defender, so it's going to be a free kick, basically a goal kick, though. He's probably 5 yards ahead of the 6-yard box. And this is Beza. Beza finds Colton Tanner, who's got 2 defenders on him, Culbertson and Boytes. Or that was actually McCarter and Boytes. And throw it, and a goal kick is called. Luke Kuechly of the Carolina Panthers is in attendance tonight. It's nice of him to get out into the community and take in the Eagles game. I'm sure he's only had to sign about 300 autographs since walking through the door. And so Pyle's going to take the kick now. This is Nathan Regis on the ball. Nathan tries to get it pat. And some controversy there, but it's going to be a throw in, and I don't think the ref liked the banter there from Stovall. Might even be a card involved. Stovall's still arguing on that one. No card, though. Just getting it straightened out, I think. Going to be a throw in by Mason McCarter. And they call a foul. And it's going to be a yellow card here, too. And that's going to be assessed to Nick Merhut. Be careful to not get yet another yellow card. And the Dutch Lions did not do well when they were a goal down on Thursday night, or a man down on Thursday night. And they definitely don't want to have to climb up that hill again. So he'll have to play a bit more cautiously from here on. And I think that was just a frustration foul, and the ref could tell that he needed to be warned. So here's Kyle Culbertson. Swings him one with his left foot. And I think that one was headed by Jake Stovall out for a corner. So Kyle Culbertson's going to take the corner as well. Swings it in. Oh! And they call a foul. Dane Wilson bobbled that ball, and the Eagles were trying to get onto it, and I think somebody just got a little bit too physical with somebody else there in the box. It didn't look like any of the Eagles were really arguing the call. Probably somebody just trying to do whatever they could to get to the ball there, and the ref saw it, or maybe it was a handball. And Tanner gets it to Garcia. Gives it over the top to Cortez. Cortez trying to find a teammate, being defended well by McCarter. Gets into the middle, and he almost had, I think that was Tanner there, or maybe Beza, but Boitez gets ahead to it. Missed a sub at the half. Christian Hayes now on for the Dutch Lions. Not sure who went off. I think this is Luther, but give it away. Odebeck tries to turn, but I think that was Beza that intercepted it, took a shot. James Pyle on the save. Okay, so I think Hayes came on for Gabe Welp. So Gabe Welp is off and Hayes on. And Tim Bosch has the ball now. Cutting on to his left. Plays it for Wilson. Wilson saves it off the line. Trying to get a cross in, I think. Gets a little contact there, but stays up. Plays it back to Austin Yearwood. Let's see if Austin Yearwood can swing one with that left foot. Good slide tackle there. I think that was Schluter. It's going to be a throw in for the Eagles. Moncona. Oh, they call a free kick, and Odenbeck's going to take it. But good job to get a hand to it by Wilson. And Smith got the head onto it. Now Cortez, but Odenbeck takes it away. Plays back to Yearwood, who finds Tim Bosch. Tim Bosch is going to try to play Wilson through, but wasn't quite able to. And Marhoot's trying to pick up the pace. Now Garcia finds Smith. Smith's got some space in front of him. He might try to take a shot. Hard foul there from Garcia, and it's a red card. As one of the Eagles is down on the ground clutching his head. I didn't quite see what happened. He might have got him in the head or something. And he's still down. I can't tell you for sure who that might be, but it could be Daniel Timba. I think it so that's unfortunate for the Dutch Lions. They have played a good game, and it still have a 1-1 tie, but the tie's not going to do them any good tonight. They need a win, and that's going to be really hard to do with a man down. They had to play a man down for more than a half on Thursday, and now they're going to have to climb up that same hill. Man down, and it's Kyle Culbertson who just got up. He was the one that was on the ground hurt, and so I think he's going to come out of the game, maybe. I hope he doesn't have a concussion or anything serious like that. He's definitely going to come off for a little bit, but I don't think the Eagles are subbing anybody on for him quite yet. So, might just see if he can. No, they are going to bring on a sub. Pardon me. No, that was just Daniel Timbosh. Don't think they're bringing on a sub. They're just going to see if he starts feeling better, and I guess they'll have to play with 10 men, but they're playing against a team with 10 men anyway, so not a huge disadvantage. Might actually be kind of to play with 10 for a little bit, because the Dutch Lions won't really have time to get acclimated, and that guy will come on out of nowhere on this. So McCarter hits it off of. So Amasa Mancona is going to take this. Culbertson would usually take this one, but he's out. So Amasa Mancona is going to play like out-swinging ball, I would imagine. And it is. Cam Boytes gets ahead to it. And he knocks it off of, I think that might have been Stovall. It was either Stovall or Halfhill. Knocks it off of his head. So it'll be another corner. Probably a better situation for the Eagles now because he's got it on. He'll be taking it from the left corner, which means he can swing one in with his right. And the rest kind of intervening now, as seems to be some extracurriculars going on down on the field. Kyle Culbertson's coming back in now. Seems to be okay. He's got some wrapping on that wrist. I'm not sure if that he just got that put on. He's kind of fidgeting with it. Wonder if he hurt his wrists also. He's going to have a quick chance to take a shot, but they call a foul, I think, on maybe Boytes in there. Almost Abubakar gets the head there, and Beza gets up to it. It's kind of a head war now. Amankona uses the shield. Now Tim Bosch hits it up to Nathan Regis. Regis keeps it in. Tries to get past Stovall. Stovall shielding. Good left-footed clearance by Stovall. And there's a yellow card now for Oriole Cortez. So, if you're keeping track at home, we got a red card and now 2 yellow cards. Oriole Cortez and the one from earlier, which is Nick Merhut. So the Dutch Lions definitely can't afford to have either of those guys sent off. They're already playing a man down. I wonder if Cortez or Merhut, most likely Cortez, is the forward. Oh, good take from. That's going to be a penalty. Zavante Wilson's knocked down by, I think that's Stovall. Pretty clear cut. Just got knocked down in the box, and we'll see who the Eagles send to take this penalty and try to get the go-ahead goal. And it's going to be Kyle Culbertson. He's got one penalty scored on the year, and he converted. So he's 1 for 1. And he's the captain. He's got a cool head. And I don't think whether it's a wrist injury or what, it shouldn't have any effect on his ability to drain this. I think the best chance of getting rid of him not scoring is probably Dane Wilson getting something to it, or just a mental lapse. But we'll see if he can bury this one and put the. So here's Culbertson. Buries it in the bottom right corner. Had a stutter in the run up. Saw where the keeper was going. Coolly it into the bottom right corner. 2-1 lead, Charlotte Eagles. And there's just no doubt in his mind about that one. He looked like he'd done it 1,000 times. Just a little stutter. Make sure the keeper wasn't already diving to his left. And just knocked it in there. Sometimes the stutter can kind of mess with the shooter. It can almost kind of throw them off of their rhythm, but I think he, has practiced it a lot and looked extremely confident up there. So a 2-1 lead for the Eagles, playing a man up on the Dutch Lions here. And if they can even hold it onto a tie, they'll win the division, but I think they want the 3 points. And they call a foul on Amasa Amankona, presumably just for playing on the ground or something, because I don't even really know any of the Dutch Lions' feet. He seemed like he got all ball, and he was kind of on the ground, but half of his body was up anyway, so don't know about that call, but the Dutch Lions get it anyway. So this is Stovall. Dutch Lions will love a quick goal here just to tie it back up, because they're going to have a hard time getting one later when the Eagles are kind of playing more defensive. But they've got 30 minutes plus, or 28 minutes plus stoppage time to make something happen. And we've seen goals scored with a man down. It happens, not all the time, but it happens. So Eagles definitely still have to be on their guard. They still have to be, attacking and trying to get another goal that would double the deficit. And that was going to be a free kick. I don't know who the foul was on. Maybe I don't know who the foul was on, but it's going to be up at the top left of the box. And the Dutch Lions have 3 guys around it. Kyle Smith, or now it's I think just 2. Kyle Smith and Colton Tanner. And keep it on for Cortez. Oh, he's just going to play it in there. That was a good ball. But Wallace Abubakar got ahead there. That was Kyle Smith that took that. And now Zavante Wilson's running. He earned the penalty earlier, but didn't get a foul there.
Then Wilson switches it over to Merhut. Merhut just has to knock it back. And so Wilson's going to have to take it with his left foot. Not a bad kick with his left foot, considering he's a right-footed keeper. And Beza switches it over there.
And now that might be Smith on the ball. Cut out by Mason McCarter. He's going to try to take it himself, but he had a big touch. And this is Halfhill. And Halfhill might have a number advantage here, despite the 10 men. Good move on Boitez. Takes a shot with his left foot.
But good positioning by James Pyle. Makes a save. High. Intercepted by Hayes. But it comes down to Wilson. Good tackle there by Beza. Now Regis is on it. Regis is going to play it up to Wilson, but Hayes was there. And he knocks it out of bounds. So it's going to be the Eagles throw in. This is Wilson. Oh, no, that was Austin Yearwood, actually.
Now Abu Bakr. Plays it over to Boitez. Amankona turns. Out to Tim Bosch. Tim Bosch is going to get a cross in there, but nobody's really there. I think with a man advantage, they would try to get more guys in the box. Now Beza on the ball, but the Eagles recover well. I don't think he's going to be able to get much of a counterattack going. Halfhill with it now. Hill gets it back. Halfhill's done a good job in that holding midfield position tonight. He didn't get the start last night, but he's done a good job playing in front of the back four. He's kind of been playing next to Beza, but Beza's had a bit more freedom to get forward, and he's kind of had to play more defensively, but he's done a good job, and I think he's won a lot of balls and done a good job playing one-on-one defense, and giving the Eagles some trouble in the center of the field there. Now Schluter finds Cortez playing on a yellow card. Cortez tries to find Beza, but it just kind of got through, and now Austin Yearwood on it. Slipped it past Colton Tanner, I think. Now Nathan Regis, there's got to be a foul there, and there is. He had guys all over him there. I think both Hayes and Halfhill were all over his back and kind of grabbing him, and eventually they called the foul. This is Odenbeck now for the finds Regis. Just going to play it back to Odenbeck, who collects it with his chest. Tries to play one of McCarter, but didn't play it quite hard enough, and gave time for Nick Merhut to just get between it and knock it out of bounds. Now Boitez to Abu Bakr. And this is Odenbeck finding Culbertson. It's a great penalty by Culbertson. He had an assist last game as well to Nathan Regis. And then this is Mason McCarter. He's going to cross in, but good job by Stovall to get a foot between them, and so it's going to be a corner. Had it in a dangerous position to McCarter. And we're going to have a sub now. I think Josue Chavez is coming on for Zavante Wilson. So Zavante Wilson had a good game. Made a lot of good runs down the side, and a couple that maybe if the ball had been better, he would have been slipped in on. But the biggest play he had all game was drawing that PK corner kick goes through the box and out for a goal kick. But Wilson was able to draw that PK after a good run and then got a foul. And that PK ended up being the go-ahead goal from Culbertson. But now Josue Chavez is going to take his place on the left side. Foul from Nick Merhoot against Daniel Timbosh. They switch it over to Austin Yearwood. Good touch from Yearwood to keep that one in. That's a tough one to collect. Good turn from Daniel Timbosh. He's got some space in front of him. Let's see if he can use it. And he gets to McCarter. Back to Timbosh. He wanted it on his other foot. And now Bay's on the ball. And Smith plays a high ball. Oh boy! Dane Wilson barely able to get to that. And the Eagles aren't done. Here's Amankona. I tried to find Odenbeck, but Bista was there. Switched over to Boytes. Just trying to find somebody deep. They've given up 2 goals, but honestly, that high line for the Dutch Lions has been really effective tonight. I think the Eagles have had a lot of times where they wanted to play somebody deep, and they just didn't have anybody that could really have a shot with, a deep ball played. Timbosh is going to try to take one. Amankona got fouled, but the ref called advantage. I think maybe he would have liked for the foul to have been called. Timbosh did have a pretty open left-footed shot, but from far out, and it just went high and wide left. He tried to curl it. That goes off of Nick Merhoot. Gonna be a throw. 72nd minute here, 2-1 lead for the Eagles, who have looked really good in possession all night. And here's Josue Chavez to Nathan Regis. And now Kyle Smith. Kyle Smith gets around Abu Bakr. And it's Beza now. Beza out to So this is probably when a lot of the subs will be made. It'll be interesting to see if the Dutch Lions try to change something up. They only have 10 men, so I would imagine a lot of them would be getting tired. And here's Tim Bosch. Tim Bosch has got a one-on-one with Stovall. Oh, and he finds Amos Amankona. Amankona takes a shot, but Dane Wilson is there for the save. Great save by Dane Wilson on the one-on-one. He came off of his line, and for a second it looked like he might be regretting it, but Amankona took a shot, and he made a great reaction save there. Amankona on the ball. He's going to try to get his goal now. He plays in Tim Bosch. Tim Bosch looked like he was taking a shot at goal there. That would have been a very impressive shot. I think his teammates would have liked him to knock that across the face of the goal, but tried to swing one in near post and catch the keeper waiting for the cross, but went into the side netting, but on the wrong side of it. So it's going to be a goal kick for Wilson. He's had a good second half, especially that save a couple minutes ago. Good flick there by Half Hill, trying to get it onto Cortez, but Abu Bakr was there for the shield. Good win by Half Hill there. So here's Mason McCarter. McCarter finds Tim Bosch, who's got a little space. Been closing in on him. And good tackle by Stovall. Tim Bosch is still pressuring, though. Wow. So Merhoot tried to clear it and nailed it right off of his teammate Stovall. Regis was in the area as well. And it goes out for a corner kick, which Kyle Culberson's going to take. Once again, going to try to swing an in-swinging ball. What you don't see a lot from the Eagles is those short-driven ones where you see somebody dummy it at the near post. I think because they have so many guys with height, they just like to take their chances on swinging a long one in and seeing if somebody like Jared Odenbeck, who almost got to that one, can get to it. But Wilson had a fist there, and so it's going to be another corner kick. Another substitution now, and it's Connor Gilmore is going to come on in place of Daniel Timbosh. So we don't get to see this a lot. We're going to have Gilmore and Nathan Regis out there, and they might switch to a 4-4-2 now. You got two, big athletic strikers out there, which they don't always. They usually kind of flank Regis with two quicker guys. And good ball in from Chavez, but Cincinnati was there. So Culbertson just plays it back to Austin Yearwood. Regis was trying to knock one up and flick it, but he got fouled in the back by, I want to say that was Hayes. So Odenbeck's going to take the free kick from out there, and he'll probably just try to knock one into the box. Another tall guy in there with Gilmore. Regis gets a head on it. Good save. Dade Wilson, who's having an excellent half for the Dutch Lions. Nathan Regis rose up and just swung that head really hard and got good contact with it. Directed it towards the bottom left corner of the goal, and Wilson just made another great reaction save and parried it away. Now the corner from Garcia goes low. Regis gets it out to Amankona. Amankona's going to take a shot. Oh, that was a good shot. It was dipping. It went wide right, and they're going to call a corner. So they're going to say it took a deflection off of somebody, which it probably did, but a great shot by Amankona. That deflection might have just been the difference between that going a little bit wide and it being upper 90. And so here's Culbertson, third corner in a row. I think they called a foul there on one of the Eagles in the box. So it'll be a free kick here in the 79th minute. And Cincinnati's got to try to do something here because, a reminder, a tie really doesn't do anything for them other than get them a point. But they need a win to have any chance at winning the South Atlantic Division. They do have second place wrapped up. If they were to lose all the rest of their games, they could end up in a tie on points with Southern West Virginia. But they have the tiebreak over the Kings Warriors in head-to-head. Not goal differential, it's head-to-head matchups, and they beat the Kings Warriors, I think, both times they played them. So, fortunately for them, they do have a spot in the playing game wrapped up as Halfhill tries to take it forward, and they're going to say that he fouled Wallace Abubakar, who is trailing him or running alongside him. And Austin Yearwood played it all the way over to Mason McCarter, who kept it in for Boitez. That was a great diving stop. I think there's no way he was saving that. Austin Yearwood gets ahead on it now. Tries to get it up to Nathan Regis, but good shoulder-to-shoulder play from Stovall. Now Hayes on the ball. Gets it to Smith. And Smith plays one with the outside of his foot over McCarter to Merhut. But a good shield there from McCarter and Boitez. And James Pyle is able to get out there to it. And Gilmore 1-2 with Culbertson. Oh, that was Chavez, actually. And he fell there, and he might be hurt. Chavez might be hurt. No contact. It was a non-contact thing, and I think he's up now, but he looks a little gimpy. And there's going to be a substitution for Cincinnati. And Colton Tanner's night's going to end now as he's replaced by Phil Sheehan. Sheehan came on as a sub on Thursday as well. So let's see if he can change the complexion of the game. So 7 minutes to go in regulation here. So the Dutch Lions just give it back to the Eagles. Good sportsmanship after they had to knock it. After the Eagles had to knock it out so that they could get Tanner off the field with the injury. And Connor Gilmore going to take him on. Good move. Good scissor move there. And he tried to find Regis's head, but he hit it too high. But put a nice scissor move to get inside position on him and on his defender and knock one into the middle. And Gilmore gets it again. He's playing the right wing position. I thought that maybe they would go to a 4-4-2, but and so Josh Kramer's is going to take Josue Chavez's place. Chavez came off with an injury earlier. That's actually who Charlotte knocked the ball out of bounds to get off. It wasn't. It was not Tanner. That was a tactical move for the Dutch Lions. High ball played from Stovall. Falls to Boitez. So, good hit, a good header by Stovall to get to that one. Minute. This game since coming in, he's big, but he's really good, has really good football, and he's had a couple near chances. Now this is Amasa Mancona, and they're gonna there's a foul. You got knocked down by that tackle by, that might be Schluter or, oh no, that's the substitute, Sheehan. Now Culbertson on to take the free kick, but Stovall was able to beat Amancona to that one. And then Halfhill headed it all the way back from about 25 yards out, back to his keeper. This is Sheehan now. Good combination for the Dutch Lions. Here's Cortez for the Dutch Lions, trying to make something happen. Down 2-1. Now Sheehan on the ball. They're trying to find Merhout. Merhout's been playing a lot higher up this half, and that's probably because of the substitution of the red card and Garcia being sent off. They haven't really had as much width, so some of that's had to come from the outside backs. And then here's Kyle Culbertson. Amancona on the ball now. Amancona with pace. Finds Austin Yearwood out wide. Austin Yearwood's going to try to take somebody on. He does. Gets to the line. Swings one in. Gilmore there. That's a second goal for the Eagles. Or excuse me, a third goal for the Eagles. Great move there by Austin Yearwood. Drags it to the goal line. Hits one in with pace. Connor Gilmore, good run. Nobody in between them. Knocks it into the goal. 3-1. Charlotte Eagles. And that might be the nail in the coffin here. With a man down and only 2 minutes of regulation to go, plus probably about 2 or 3 minutes of stoppage, I don't see how Cincinnati can come back, and I definitely don't think they can get the win here, which is what they really need. And good to see Gilmore get a goal. He's worked hard since coming in off the bench. And Austin Yearwood really deserves a lot of credit for that assist. He made a great move over on the left side and shook his man. Made it look like he was going to go right. I think the defender kind of forgot for a second that he was left-footed and thought he wanted to get to his right foot. And just slid it onto his left foot. Used the quickness that he has to get to the line and take it down, and made a Cincinnati Dutch Lions defender kind of commit to him. And from there, he just picked out Gilmore perfectly. And there's no way that Wilson could have done anything about it. He was watching that watching the shot from Yearwood, and before he knew it, that ball was in the back of the net. That's Austin Yearwood's second assist on the season. And
3 minutes of stoppage time. 3 minutes.
the first goal of the season from Connor Gilmore. And it's going to be Austin Yearwood again. They want it offside. Hey, yep, there it is. Offside flag is up. I don't know if there's a team in the PDL whose outside backs get called for offsides more than the Eagles, and that's not. And speaking of outside backs, Mason McCarter's going to come out now, and Tyler Allen's going to come on. So he's going to get to play these last couple minutes of stoppage time. There's 5 minutes of stoppage time, by the way. So they're going to play 5 more minutes. That's not. But to say that the Eagles have the most outside back offsides is not a knock on McCarter or Yearwood. It's just to say that they do such a good job of getting forward that they have to deal with the offsides line a lot more than other fullbacks would have to. So I think the Eagles will take 1 or 2 of those in exchange for really good attacking play from both of those players. That isn't by the defense. Oh, Amankota now. He got a good ball from Tyler Allen. And almost was able to slip through those 2 defenders and get a 4th one on the board. And that would have just been icing on top. I don't think that this game's really in question anymore. But the Dutch Lions are still playing good soccer. Sheehan has looked good since coming on. And now Odemek's going to turn and finds Boitez. Swings it around to Tyler Allen, the new substitute. And he's looking to take somebody on, but he's just going to play back to Odenbeck. I think the Eagles just kind of want to possess it these last couple minutes. They've got a good 3-1 lead, and they've had an excellent performance again tonight. And I think if you told Coach Dave Dixon that he'd be walking out of this 2-game stretch against Cincinnati with 6 points, he'd be extremely happy. I think he would have been happy with 2 points and just 2 ties in a row. That would have locked up the division for him. But Connor Gilmore gets a second goal. A good cross in from Krimmers. And just a good finish by Gilmore. Put it in the top right. Great ball from Krimmers, and Gilmore with a fantastic run there. And that's his second goal of the night and his second of the season. Big night from Connor Gilmore. He's deserved it. He's run hard. He's put himself in position to get goals, and he's gotten good service from his defenders and his midfielders. And that's going to be the final whistle here from Charlotte. A 4-1 victory for the Charlotte Eagles. who clinch a South Atlantic Division title, and they will host the Cincinnati Dutch Lions in a playoff game here at Dixon Field. And their next game to be against South Carolina United on Thursday, July 16th. Tonight was their last regular season home game, but not their last home game of the season, as they will meet these Dutch Lions in about 2 weeks for what I'm sure will be a hotly contested playoff game. So a big 4-goal performance tonight from the Eagles as they get goals from Nathan Regis, Kyle Culbertson, Connor Gilmore. And Kyle Smith originally got on the board for the Dutch Lions, making it 1-0, and they almost went into halftime with a 1-0 lead. But Charlotte woke up, and they really just poured it on after that. And that was one of the best second halves I've seen them play all season. So, Powerade player of the night is going to go to Nathan Regis. And he had a goal and an assist. I think they might have given him the assist on Gilmore's first goal. But overall, just a great game from the Eagles tonight, and they'd be very happy to have the division wrapped up. And Connor Gilmore's going to be really happy with those 2 goals he scored. A great performance off the bench, and I would imagine that going forward in the end of the regular season and into the playoffs, he's going to be one of the first guys that the Eagles use off the bench because he's shown that he's good for a couple late goals. So, signing off 4-1, Charlotte Eagles victory.